Now, having one engine on a 747 fail, yes, one of the 4 engines, is not a big deal at all. See, we can just shut down the 4th engine right here after it suffered from some fire. No trouble for this plane. Let's just quickly extinguish the fire. In fact, the 747 is made to be able to fly on 3 engines. For example, if one engine fails, for example, it can be ferried with 3 engines, just like most quad-engine planes. For example, the Avro can also be flown on 3 engines. But there's one plane that definitely can't do that. And that is, of course, the 4-engine Concorde, a plane that also has 4 engines, of course, but an extremely odd design. This ogival delta kind of style wing means that it's an incredibly bad glider. It needs the power of the 4 engines to stay up in the air. Look, let's go take off now. This plane flies so oddly. I mean, you need at least like 200 knots to fly properly. This plane does not have any flaps or anything. Despite its huge power, it needs quite a long runway. And look at the tail landing gear bouncing. Okay, there, that nearly worked. This plane is so unlike any other airliner, and it only really works properly once it is at home. At Mach 2. You know, at high altitudes, this is the only place where the Concorde feels somehow comfortable, and even here it's kind of sitting in the air weirdly at twice the speed of sound. Something that the Concorde would very occasionally have, though, is actual engine failures anyway. 4th engine failure in a year aboard a Concorde flight from November 2002, and something that could happen is that the aircraft lost an engine and plunged 10,000 feet before its pilots could regain control. Yes, a single engine out on this plane doesn't mean good ever. Look, I mean, what happens if we put a fire? Come on, let's do that. Oh no, we've got an engine fire. We've got, well, all the engines are kind of on fire because of the afterburner. But no, we're losing engine number 4, so let's kill it. Let's discharge it. And that can mean great instability. But what is worse is when you lose all the engines. Because this plane is the worst gliding airliner in the world. To measure how well an airliner glides, you use the glide ratio, which is always measured in a ratio indeed. So for example, 70:1 of a ratio is a high performance glider. So that means you can travel 70 meters forward for every meter of altitude lost. Now a normal airliner has 15:17:1 of a glide ratio. For example, the A320, meaning that Sully could make it to the Hudson River. Whereas the Concorde, depending on the model, only has around 4:1. We lose a lot more altitude over distance traveled. Now this number interestingly changes on the Concorde when you are at cruise speed because this weird wing works a lot differently up there, but things are not looking good. Look at our insane descent rate. We're falling out of the skies at 6,000 feet per minute, which would be unheard of any other airliner. And what you have to do now is find the Raymer turbine switch. Yes, the Concorde from 1969 was one of the first airliners to actually have a Raymer turbine to provide electricity in case of an engine. I just don't know where it is. All right, we are completely cooked. Alright. No, just the fact that this plane has to be at a 200 knots to stay afloat doesn't make it a nice glider at all. So let's go ahead and do some interesting testing. You know, I feel like this is a smart idea. Welcome to, obviously LaGuardia, New York. This is where something happened a few years ago that included an all-engine failure. Let's do this in the Concorde. So come on, let's get everything ready. Let's go full power in this plane. Yes, and that of course also means putting on the aftermotors. Now this is not the longest runway, but not really that much of an issue. Looking good. We are taking off. That was sort of an overrun, no trouble though. Put the landing gear up, and well, Sully was able to climb a little bit before they lost all the engines. So let's go ahead and simulate that as well. Let's go ahead and put the nose visor up now. And this is kind of like a good altitude to lose all engines, so let's go and do this. Let's just cut them off to kill them. So stop, shot, and shot, stop. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we have lost some engines, and this is some horrible noise. Let's cut it. Audio cancel the audio. All right, and we've lost our engines indeed in the Concorde now, and we can see that, oh my god, we're literally falling out of the skies. There's no way to fly for maybe like 2 more minutes to glide down to the Hudson River. Absolutely no chance. Even though we have a little bit of airspeed still, actually 300 knots, we are really fast. This plane drops down crazily, and there is no way returning back to the airport we came from. This is truly a horrible situation. situation. See how this wing here is struggling to create lift already. We've got no propulsion in it, so it flies like that. See, with this kind of wing, it's not only the airspeed that's important, but it's actually the propulsion. Oh my goodness. And now we're at 200 knots. We can't do any better. Luckily, this airplane had 4 engines, so this obviously never happened. Maybe just for sakes of it, put the nose visor down, although that doesn't really make a difference, does it? All right, and I'm pulling up all the way. There's no way in making this water landing any smoother. I'm pulling up all the way. Boom, and that's a proper crash. That's actually pretty crazy. Nope, want a useless glider. But let's maybe try experimenting around a little bit more. So for example, what would happen if you were to fly with only 3 out of the 4 engines? So let's kill engine number 4 like that. Yep, there we go. It is dying. So can we in any way take off now? Could we in any way fly like other planes, like the 747? Probably not. Oh, so because of the high power here, this thing immediately yaws to the right. That is pretty crazy. So we need to build speed very slowly. When I say slowly, I mean very slowly. Without the afterburners, taking off this plane is extremely slow. Come on. This is just absolutely impossible. Just at the differential thrust, just come on. We're building airspeed now. This is actually good. So let's see. Go more power now. Oh yeah. All right. We're looking like this might be able to fly. So look, we're taking off now. We've got 3 afterburners running. 1 is absolutely not running. Oh my god, we've run off the runway. Holy moly. All right, this is absolutely chaos. Yeah, it makes sense that they wouldn't allow that. Okay. Oh, and even now, when we run at full power, the yawing is incredible. This plane is so unstable, and even on 1 engine just missing, it flies really uncomfortably poorly. But hey, we are somehow able to create lift. We're somehow able to build airspeed. This is not bad, and we're able to climb somewhat. Not very well, though. So what happens if you take off with only 2 engines? Oh, like, genuinely, what happens if we take off with only 2 engines? We've killed the outer ones. Only the inner ones are working now, so let's see if this is able to work at all. We're, by the way, running on, like, a normal weight configuration here. All right. Oh my god, the noise is incredible. Shut up. All right, we're building airspeed, as you can see, but I really highly doubt. I mean, by the way, we're at Los Angeles's long runway. I really highly doubt that we're going to be able to fly properly. Okay, though we are able to build airspeed. That's not bad, but it's just that this thing takes so long to runway. Okay, we have overrun. No wonder they didn't. Oh, no, this airplane is just so unable to, oh my god, it's not able to, oh, it's not getting any height. We have crashed. And this can be really bad in like a go-around scenario if got a dual engine failure. Luckily though, that never happened. But still, for gliding down onto your landing, if we kill the outer engines again, this can be a big problem. Like, can you imagine this? So, oh my god, look at how hard we are losing airspeed. Okay, I'm going full power on the inner engines, and it's just not able to provide lift. Oh yeah, we saved it. We have saved it. Oh, we haven't. Oh, that was a crash now. So what have we learned? This wing is great and all, but in case of loss of propulsion, this wing can really struggle. Look, no altitude being climbed here at all. How interesting is that? So everybody, thank you guys so much for watching this video, and I'll see you guys tomorrow as always. Good night. And a special thanks goes out to my members, my supporters, Guns Killer, R27, James Duram, That Dude, Anime Gods of Gaming, Derek, Insider Plane, Nishijitsu Finder, Professional Jamal, Ryland Williams, and New the York. You've got beautiful names.